All right. So I just finished one of my first meetings for the day. It was our usual meeting that we have every morning. We just went over what we're working on for the day. We have any blockers and any feedback and things like that. So what I'm working on today is some front end animation. For those of you who might not know, I work as a full stack software engineer. And so that entails working with the front end, which is usually what the client sees when they go to a website and what they're interacting with. That's the front end. And then the back end is usually like the server side stuff, all the data processing, data retrieval from our databases. So fetching data, for example, building custom APIs, interacting with data, processing it, formatting it, and storing it as well. And so that can be like in our database. So for example, like a MySQL database or maybe even Snowflake, like a data warehouse, or even Amazon services like S3 Bucket or one of their databases like Dynamo DB is one of theirs. And yeah, so it's really dealing with everything and how it all comes together full cycle, right? Now, this is on a relative high level, I would say. So always happy to dive into that even more. If that's something you all might be interested in, I could definitely do that. Anyway, I got to get to some work now. I'm going to work on my front end feature innovation ticket. I worked on the front end before. I've been a full stack engineer now for 5 years. So working on the front end isn't new, but working with animations, CSS animations and custom animations. Now that's new. I'm getting a message now to join a huddle. I gotta take this and then I'll be back. All right. I'm back. Yeah, we just basically got off of a quick Slack huddle call. It's actually not uncommon for them to happen that you might get a message from someone that they might be stuck on something that they're working on or one of their feature requests. And just hop on Zoom or hop on Slack. I might have an impromptu call. And it's just way more efficient and effective to hop on Zoom or Slack and go over the phone, share what you're stuck on, what you tried, what didn't work, what got you closer to where you're trying to go, but might have produced a different error instead of the other error you're getting. Stuff like that happens all the time. But you don't want to spend too long on being stuck. So shout out to that engineer for going ahead and reaching out and tackling it. But essentially he's all set. And so yeah, just FYI to keep in mind, you really don't want to spend too long on being stuck before asking for help. So I would even go as far as to say you're stuck for even an hour. That is even a long time, right? But I wouldn't even push it past that. I know when I was a junior, I would spend hours being stuck or something like hours. I switched careers and all of that. It's not uncommon that you might be stuck, right? And as a junior, I think it's expected. At the same time, I think over time you always get faster and stuff the more you do it. And I think it just touches on one, not being afraid to ask for help, knowing you need to reach out for help, but also not know how to structure your questions. Like, how do I even ask this question? I used to struggle so bad and explain to other people what I was stuck on. I really had trouble formulating my questions to other people in a clear manner where they will really help me instead of us going down a rabbit hole because the question was unclear. That has happened before. That once and not twice. And so it took a lot of work and it just took time. We got better with time. But at the end of the day, anything you to take away from this video, it's definitely like just don't be afraid to ask for help. So on to my next thing. I have been busy in less than a half hour. I haven't worked on animation stuff, reverse engineering some animation stuff I have to add to this feature request. I'll have to get to that later after this meeting because I need to take care of this meeting that I actually set up. Usually I think it's engineers don't want meetings to try to avoid one. It's way more introverted, so it makes sense. But nonetheless, yeah, I am joining a new team. I've been on this team, I think for 4 weeks now, roughly, give or take. And yeah, partnering up with another team here at my company, I should say. I'm still on my original team, but this quarter, just taking time to partner with our website engineering team and we'll rebuild and optimize all our company-owned websites that we own using our cool new tech stacks and using Next.js, some Tailwind in there, and TypeScript, things of that sort. Also Redux, CSS front end, and I'm working as a front end developer on this project. And as a result, yeah, I set up a meeting with the senior product manager for this team, and then another product manager is also going to be joining as well. And I figured, I got some feedback from the director when I had my one-on-one with them. He gave a good idea for me to go ahead and start up this meeting, right, to find out more information from the business side of things. And so this is where that senior product manager could really help. And then the other product manager relatively new to this team as well. So I like learning about things outside of coding. I like learning about the impact that it's having on the business, how it's helping drive the business forward. And in order to do that, I have to gain some business insights and what are the key metrics and strategies and how they are making their decisions so that I can do my job effectively, but also just have a more holistic understanding of what we're doing. Yeah. So I got to get ready for that meeting and then I will check in with you all. All right. So I just got out of my meeting with the senior product manager for the team that I'm working in, the website engineering team. Another product manager also was on the call. And yeah, that meeting honestly was super helpful. Shout out to my director. He gave me the pro tip to set that call up. That was great because I just found out and learned so much new information that I didn't know before by asking questions and just taking the time. It only took 30 minutes and I learned a lot of new information. I had a list of questions I asked them and not even picking his brain. But it was great. But with that, I just want to say shout out to the director who gave me that pro tip to go ahead and set up the call with the senior product manager. Definitely worthwhile. Again, it only took 30 minutes and he allowed me to sit there, ask questions and pick his brain. So that's definitely a pro tip that I feel like is worth mentioning because not only did I learn a ton about the product vision, general business strategy, user experience and engagement, how we measure success, key performance indicators, and it's like a ton of new stuff that I'm still like, gotta take some notes. It's still marinating. But shout out to my director for giving me the pro tip to go ahead and set up that post. I can learn all this new amazing information. It's worth my time in doing it and taking out the 30 minutes to do that. And I think this can even apply to outside of working in tech, but it's just taking that time to set up calls with people who are on your team who you'll be working with directly, or maybe an adjacent man. Hopefully you take away more things, but you don't just definitely leave it that. It's definitely worthwhile. Just positions you better, right? So you can work in a different way. It reshapes your mindset when you're approaching the day-to-day things that you have to do at work. And I think also it gives you more insight into the company, our objectives, our roadmap, product strategy, product vision, and how we'd like to move forward. But that being said, I got to get back to work. I have like hour-ish, maybe even less. I have another meeting and I started to do some developing. So I will be doing that and I'll catch you all soon. Hey, so I'm on my way to my doctor's appointment, and I am running late, but I did figure out a small annoying bug that I had, that progress animation bar that I was working on. Be on the way. But